Some cars are more than machines. They are living artifacts of an era where steel, chrome, and raw horsepower defined status. In the late 1960s, Detroit's Big Three, alongside a few ambitious rivals, were locked in an arms race, not with missiles or warships, but with cubic inches and quarter-mile times. Every year brought bigger engines, bolder styling, and more daring engineering. These weren't cars built for quiet commutes or fuel economy. They were forged for speed, dominance, and the thrill of burning rubber down a drag strip. While the streets were filled with popular models, hidden among them were a select few so rare and powerful that they've since become the stuff of legend. Today, collectors scour the globe for these elusive machines, each one carrying a story of limited production, uncompromising performance, and the kind of exclusivity that money alone can't buy. The following 8 cars represent the pinnacle of that golden age: rare, desirable, and unforgettable. Number 8. 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. The 1969 Camaro ZL1 was a creation born with a singular purpose: dominating the drag strip. Developed under Chevrolet's COPO program, it was never intended as a mass-market offering. At its core was an all-aluminum 427 cubic-inch V8 engine, a piece of engineering derived directly from racing technology. This engine combined immense strength with reduced weight, creating a balance that delivered staggering acceleration and raw power. Production was extremely limited, with only 69 units ever made. The cost alone was enough to deter the average buyer, nearly doubling the price of a standard Camaro. For those who understood its potential, the ZL1 was not just another car. It was a ticket to competitive success on the track. The official horsepower figures were intentionally understated, masking the reality that it produced well over 500 horsepower in its purest form. This was a machine designed for serious racers who valued performance above all else. Many of the original ZL1s lived their lives in the harsh conditions of competitive racing, where every quarter mile tested their durability and speed. As a result, few remain in pristine condition today. Each surviving example carries with it a history of intense use, mechanical precision, and the unmistakable presence of a true performance icon. For collectors, the ZL1 has become a benchmark of authenticity and rarity in the muscle car world. It represents a time when engineering decisions were driven by the need to win, not to appeal to mass consumers. Its scarcity, combined with its unrestrained performance, has made it one of the most sought-after American cars ever built. To own one is to preserve a chapter of automotive history where limits were pushed and competition was the only goal. Number 7. 1967 Pontiac GTO. The 1967 Pontiac GTO marked a defining moment in Pontiac's muscle car legacy. Subtle refinements distinguished it from earlier models, giving it a sharper and more purposeful appearance. The front grille design was reworked to create a bolder visual impact, complemented by redesigned taillights that added a touch of sophistication. Its stance carried a sense of readiness that matched its performance capabilities, making it an unmistakable presence on the street. Beneath the exterior, The GTO was powered by a 400 cubic inch V8 engine, a new displacement for that model year. Buyers could select from several versions, including the high output and the Ram Air configurations. The high output delivered a strong, responsive driving experience, while the Ram Air option elevated performance with improved breathing at higher RPMs. These choices allowed enthusiasts to tailor their GTO to match their performance goals, whether for spirited street driving or competitive racing. On the quarter mile, the 1967 GTO had the ability to stand among the best of its time. Its balance of torque and high-end power provided rapid acceleration, while its chassis and suspension gave it stability at speed. The combination of powertrain and design placed it firmly at the top of the muscle car hierarchy during that era. Although the GTO was widely popular in its day, the passage of time has made pristine, original high-performance examples increasingly difficult to find. Cars equipped with the factory Ram Air or high-output packages, preserved with their original components, are now among the most coveted by collectors. Their value lies not just in rarity, but in what they represent. The point where Pontiac achieved both sales dominance and engineering excellence. The 1967 GTO remains a benchmark of the late 1960s, embodying the blend of style, performance, and presence that defined the golden age of American muscle cars. Number 6. 1968 Plymouth Roadrunner Hemi. The 1968 Plymouth Roadrunner arrived with a clear purpose, delivering pure muscle car performance in a straightforward package. It was built on the principle of removing unnecessary extras to keep the price accessible while still offering serious power. This approach attracted a wide range of drivers who wanted speed and capability without paying for luxury touches. When equipped with Chrysler's 426 Hemi, the character of the Roadrunner changed entirely. The Hemi was a precision-engineered powerhouse producing 425 horsepower and 490 of torque. Its hemispherical combustion chambers allowed exceptional airflow, enabling explosive acceleration and consistent performance on the drag strip. Because the Hemi was an expensive option, it was ordered sparingly, making those cars rare even when new. The exterior design carried a purposeful look, with crisp body lines and a restrained use of trim. Plymouth gave it an identity that stood out without unnecessary ornamentation. The instantly recognizable Roadrunner emblem added a distinctive detail, speed and performance in a subtle way. Beneath the surface, surf-recognizable assist and suspension were built to handle the demands of high-output power, ensuring stability and control under aggressive driving conditions. On the track, a Hemi-equipped Roadrunner had the ability to challenge almost anything in its path. Its combination of torque-rich launches and sustained top-end pull made it a formidable presence during quarter-mile runs. This was not a car that compromised for comfort. It delivered performance with a direct, unfiltered connection between driver and machine. Today, original Hemi Roadrunners from 1968 are among the most desirable examples in Plymouth's history. Their scarcity, combined with the unmatched reputation of the 426 Hemi, has elevated them to a highly respected place in the muscle car world. Each surviving example serves as a reminder of a time when raw power and mechanical simplicity defined true performance. Number 5. 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429. The 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429 was developed with a singular goal: to qualify its engine for NASCAR competition. Ford needed to produce a street version of the car to meet homologation rules, and the result was one of the most exclusive Mustangs ever built. Only 159 Boss 429s were produced across 2 model years, and the 1969 version remains the most desirable among collectors. At the core of the Boss 429 was its 429 cubic inch semi-Hemi V8. This engine was designed with large ports and hemispherical-style combustion chambers to sustain high RPM power. Ford officially rated it at 375 horsepower, but actual output was considerably higher. Built to excel at high speeds rather than short bursts, it delivered relentless performance on open stretches of road and was engineered for endurance under competitive conditions. To accommodate the massive engine, Ford contracted Carcraft to modify standard Mustang bodies, widening the engine bay and reworking the suspension. This gave the Boss 429 a distinctive stance and exceptional stability at speed. The functional hood scoop fed fresh air to the engine, while minimal badging kept its purpose clear but not overstated. Its design was both purposeful and restrained, focusing attention on capability rather than decoration. Driving the Boss 429 demanded precision, as the engine's power band favored higher revs. It was not optimized for drag strip launches, but excelled in delivering strong, consistent acceleration once underway. Its balance of engineering and performance placed it among the most respected muscle cars of its time. Today, the 1969 Boss 429 holds an enduring reputation for rarity and mechanical sophistication. Collectors value it as much for its place in racing history as for its striking appearance. It remains a testament to Ford's commitment to building a machine that could dominate the track while existing, in limited numbers, on public roads. Number 4. 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1. The 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1 was a turning point for Buick's performance image. Built from the Skylark platform, it served as the brand's ultimate statement in the muscle car market. The GSX stood out visually with its bold striping, rear spoiler, and limited color palette that included the striking Saturn yellow and Apollo white. These details ensured it would never be mistaken for an ordinary Skylark. Under the hood, the Stage 1 package delivered a 455 cubic inch V8 that Buick officially rated at 360 horsepower, though actual performance figures were higher. The most remarkable figure was its 510 lb-ft of torque, making it one of the strongest torque-producing engines of the era. This immense low-end power gave the GSX Stage 1 exceptional acceleration and impressive quarter-mile times, firmly establishing it among the quickest factory muscle cars available. Performance alone did not define the GSX Stage 1. Buick engineered it to deliver a premium driving experience, incorporating the comfort and refinement expected from the brand. The interior offered a level of fit and finish uncommon in many high-performance cars of the time, with supportive seating, quality materials, and a layout designed for both long-distance cruising and spirited driving. The GSX's suspension and handling capabilities matched its power, with enhancements that kept the car stable and composed under acceleration. This balance of comfort and performance distinguished it from many of its rivals, offering owners the ability to enjoy both everyday usability and competitive performance. Only 678 examples of the 1970 GSX were built, ensuring it would remain a rare and desirable piece of muscle car history. Today, it stands as a symbol of Buick's ability to merge brute strength with refined execution, a combination that continues to capture the attention of collectors and enthusiasts seeking something beyond the typical muscle car formula. Number 3. 1970 Plymouth Hemi Barracuda. The 1970 Plymouth Hemi Barracuda represented the peak of Mopar performance engineering. Built on Chrysler's E-body platform, it carried a wide stance and low profile that gave it a commanding presence. The design was purposeful, with bold lines, muscular proportions, and details that highlighted its performance intent. The most iconic visual feature was the shaker hood, feeding air directly into the engine while signaling the car's capabilities before it even moved. Power came from the 426 cubic inch Hemi V8, a legendary engine in muscle car history. Rated at 425 horsepower, it delivered far more in real-world conditions. The Hemi's hemispherical combustion chamber design allowed it to breathe efficiently at high RPMs, giving it incredible acceleration and sustained power delivery. This was an engine built for competition, yet it was placed in a car available to the public in very limited numbers. When paired with the convertible body style, the Hemi Barracuda became one of the rarest combinations of its era. The 1971 production run saw only 14 such convertibles built. And while the 1970 numbers were also scarce, both are now regarded as treasures in the collector market. Even hardtop Hemi Cudas command significant attention due to their combination of power, style, and exclusivity. The chassis and suspension were engineered to handle the demands of the Hemi's output, with upgraded components ensuring stability and control. The interior offered driver-focused ergonomics with clear instrumentation and purposeful design, reinforcing that this was a machine created for performance above all else. Today, the 1970 Hemi Barracuda is recognized as one of the most desirable muscle cars ever produced. Its scarcity, unmatched performance reputation, and aggressive styling have secured its place at the top of Mopar's legacy. For enthusiasts and collectors alike, it remains an enduring symbol of unrestrained American horsepower. Number 2. 1966 Dodge Coronet Street Hemi. The 1966 Dodge Coronet Street Hemi carried an unassuming look, but under its calm exterior was a powertrain built for serious performance. Dodge introduced the Street Hemi to bridge the gap between its race-proven engines and production models, giving buyers a chance to experience professional-grade power on the street. This 426 cubic inch V8 was engineered with hemispherical combustion chambers and heavy-duty internals, allowing it to produce 425 advertised horsepower with remarkable durability under sustained load. In 1966, the Coronet's styling leaned towards simplicity. Clean side panels, squared-off lines, and modest trim made it look like a standard mid-size sedan to anyone not paying close attention. The only real indicators of its capability were discrete Hemi badges, and even those could be overlooked. It was this quiet confidence that made it especially appealing to drivers who valued performance without the need for flashy design. Behind the wheel, the street Hemi transformed the Coronet into a force to be reckoned with. Its torque-rich delivery pushed the car forward with authority, and the chassis was reinforced to cope with the strain. Buyers could equip it with either a heavy-duty manual or an equally robust automatic transmission, both tuned to handle the engine's output. Due to the high cost and demanding nature of the Hemi, only a small number were ordered, which has made surviving cars rare. They stand today as important milestones in Mopar history, representing the early days of factory-built street performance that could rival dedicated race cars. Collectors prize them not just for their speed, but for their authenticity, as they remain a direct link to the moment Dodge committed to bringing its most advanced racing technology to the public. The 1966 Coronet Street Hemi remains an enduring example of raw engineering wrapped in a subtle, understated form. Number 1. The cultural and collector legacy of 60s muscle cars. The muscle cars of the late 1960s emerged from a competitive environment where manufacturers sought to outdo one another in power, styling, and engineering. The market was strong, and buyers wanted high-performance vehicles that could deliver excitement straight from the showroom. This led to an era where the largest engines, boldest designs, and most innovative features were often reserved for special, low-production models. These vehicles became cultural symbols almost immediately. They reflected a period of optimism and mechanical ambition, with each brand trying to push limits further. Cars like the Plymouth Hemi Cuda, Ford Boss 429, and Pontiac GTO captured the imagination of enthusiasts not just for their speed, but for the statements they made about innovation and dominance. As time moved forward, their significance grew. The mechanical feel, the sound of a big block engine, and the sheer presence of these cars became increasingly rare in modern production. Enthusiasts began to see them as more than transportation. They became rolling artifacts of a performance-driven era. This recognition elevated them into collector status, where originality, condition, and historical significance dictate value. Some of the rarest muscle cars are those built in extremely limited numbers or with unique factory options. These details often tell a deeper story, whether it's about a racing program, a special order combination, or an engineering experiment that made its way to production. Such cars are sought after not only for their performance, but also for their role in the broader narrative of automotive history. Owning one is both a privilege and a responsibility. These machines are preserved, restored, and displayed not just for their beauty or power, but as living reminders of a time when performance engineering was a manufacturer's highest priority. The cultural and collector legacy of 1960s muscle cars lies in this enduring connection between the past and the passion that continues to keep it alive. The muscle cars of the 60s weren't just built. They were born from competition, passion, and the relentless pursuit of speed. Today, their rarity and historical significance make them treasures in the automotive world. Each one is a reminder of a time when performance ruled the streets, and every new model year brought something bold and unexpected. If you enjoyed exploring these incredible machines, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment with your favorite rare muscle car from the era. Your support helps keep this history alive. And who knows, you might just inspire the next generation of enthusiasts to keep the muscle car legacy burning bright.